When the world went to war in 1939, survival was not a choice but a daily struggle. Soldiers, resistance fighters, and even civilians learned to stretch every resource, hide from enemies, and stay alive under brutal conditions. Yet many of the most effective survival tricks they relied on were later banned, outlawed, or deliberately forgotten because they were considered too dangerous, too subversive, or simply too effective for ordinary people to keep using. These forbidden secrets weren't just about fighting. Today, understanding these hidden methods is more than history. It's survival knowledge that still works if used wisely. During World War II, entire cities across Europe were ordered into blackout conditions to avoid guiding enemy bombers. But ordinary families went further than just pulling curtains. They built layered blackout shutters, coated glass with thick paint, and even rigged makeshift double walls to conceal light. In some occupied towns, civilians crafted small slit lamps, tiny covered lanterns that emitted almost no glow, but allowed them to work or cook without being seen from outside. After the war, many governments banned or discouraged these contraptions because they were fire hazards and symbolized wartime disobedience. Yet, the principle still applies today. In a grid-down event, controlling light at night is crucial for avoiding unwanted attention. A modern version could be as simple as heavy blackout curtains, foil-lined blankets, or small LED lights covered with red filters to prevent glow from escaping windows. Fuel shortages during World War II forced people to abandon normal cooking methods. One forbidden survival secret that spread in resistance circles was the hobo stove, a tin can cut invented to burn wood scraps efficiently. Soldiers on the Eastern Front built similar stoves inside helmets or ammo boxes to cook rations. These worked brilliantly, but were banned after the war in many regions due to fire risk and the potential for carbon monoxide poisoning in enclosed spaces. The survival value, however, is undeniable. With a single can, a knife, and some holes punched in the metal, you can boil water or cook food almost anywhere. To use this safely today, build the stove outdoors, elevate it on bricks or rocks, and keep ventilation wide open. What was once forbidden can still be one of the fastest ways to create heat from scraps. Resistance fighters across occupied Europe often had no access to firearms. Instead, they improvised weapons from farm tools, pipes, and scrap. The infamous British Liberator pistol was designed to be produced cheaply and hidden, but similar underground versions were secretly crafted in barns and cellars. These makeshift arms were forbidden knowledge after the war because governments feared uprisings. Even more common were small spiked boards or weighted clubs hidden in doorways designed to disable intruders. While you would not replicate these as weapons today, the lesson is clear. Everyday materials can be adapted into tools of defense when the usual options are gone. Under rationing systems, many forms of foraging were strictly forbidden. In Britain, gathering eggs from wild birds or hunting rabbits without a license could land you in prison. In occupied territories, taking food from fields meant risking execution. Yet, people did it anyway. Families gathered nettles, acorns, dandelion roots, and even boiled tree bark to survive. Soldiers in the Pacific learned to collect edible insects, while Eastern Europeans stripped pine needles for vitamin-rich teas. The forbidden nature of these practices came not from danger, but from governments desperate to maintain control over food supplies. Today, these same skills remain invaluable. Nettles can be boiled into a soup rich in iron. Acorns leached in water become flour, and pine needle tea offers vitamin C in winter. During the war, many civilians dug hidden shelters not approved by their governments. These went beyond official air raid shelters and became secret dugouts, cellars, and even underground rooms disguised under barns or chicken coops. In occupied Poland and the Balkans, families hid entire food caches or even neighbors in false floors and tunnel systems. After the war, governments considered these dangerous, subversive, or simply reminders of disobedience. So many were filled in or outlawed. Yet, the survival lesson remains powerful. A hidden storage space in your own home, a concealed basement shelf, a floorboard compartment, or even a false wall means you have supplies that cannot be stolen or confiscated in desperate times. The reason these survival methods were labeled forbidden wasn't because they failed, but because they worked. They gave ordinary people power outside the control of governments and armies. Blackout lamps denied bombers their targets. Tin can stoves kept families alive when fuel was gone. Hidden shelters provided safety from both bombs and patrols. Foraging made ration cards meaningless. But for those who study history and take preparedness seriously, they remain timeless reminders that self-reliance often runs against the grain of official rules. survival knowledge from World War II should never be left to fade in dusty archives. These forbidden secrets were born from necessity, and they still offer powerful lessons today. If you found value in this deep dive, make sure to subscribe to In the Beginning for more overlooked survival history and share this with others who respect practical knowledge. The more these truths are remembered, the less dependent we are on systems that may one day fail us.